FXBros.
And we're back. Another Sunday analysis breakdown on Australian dollar. Happy Sunday. It was April 14th. We are entering into what's the second week of or the third week. We're 2 weeks in for the second quarter, starting out the second quarter with April. And one thing that stands out recently that we experienced was this major sell-off from CPI. I'll talk about that. Let's see, I'll take this off. So yeah, basically the last major move we just experienced was CPI, which was on a 4 hour. Now we just got engulfing on the 4 hour. It's supposed to be in buys right now. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Got to close out a position right quick. All right. So if I drop down, let's see if we, because this is on the 4 hour, so we just got a bullish engulfing right here to close out from basically from Sunday. $17 to $21, which is 9, which is 8, because it's on the New York time zone. So yeah, we just got a 4 hour engulfing right here on the 4 hour time frame. It's a bullish engulfing. So based on the project I was working on this past weekend, looking at the first quarter, we would enter a buy with a stop slightly below the swing low, which would be right about 64.53 flat, and we'll try to get at least a 2-to-1, or at least to right up in here about say just for even this 65.20. So that's about a 40 to 45 pip move, bullish move that we have potentially right now. But overall, we can drop down to the 1 hour so we can actually see what happened during CPI. That came out on Wednesday morning. It's basically right here. And like I notated on Wednesday morning, it was very difficult to get entered into this trade. You would probably have to have pending orders sitting below these lows, like at 66.14 to 66.10, because news was released at about 8:30, 7:30 Central Time. And if you look at the 1 minute, right here, this was CPI release. Like I said, the price you would have had to have your pending orders in would have been right below these lows. So I say about 66.14 to 66.10. So somewhere up in here. Because even on a 1 minute, it didn't give you no real strong areas to enter. Like if you was waiting for a close of a candle, this one candle moved 40 pips. So that's 40 pips you'd have had to been cool with not catching, because ultimately they continue to move lower all the way down to this range, basically kind of filling up in this gap. And even if you did wait for this candle to close, that move, let's see, go short position. That move was about 90 pips, even from the close of that 1 minute, if you would have caught that. So right up in there, right over 90 pips. So even if you would have missed that 40, you still had 90, and anywhere within this range right here. And that was about 70 pips right there. So still a lot of money to be made during that CPI drop if you didn't catch the overall bulk move. Me, I was a little bit more risky on the trade when I entered. I kind of caught interest before the news release even came out that night, that Tuesday night previously. Actually, it was early Wednesday morning during London. So right around here, this push up, I caught sales up in here, and ultimately in the morning, CPI worked out well in our favor. And it kind of had bullish structure built in for it to potentially go higher. It could have broke higher and continued bullish, I feel like. Of course, the fundamentals kind of supported probably that, or nonetheless, looking at the negatively correlated US dollar, just looking at that chart could have gotten you in that sell position. Because if you look at the DXY from Wednesday morning, and I think me and my brother was kind of talking about this early in the week. DXY Wednesday morning was down here. I already took out lows the previous morning on Tuesday. I already took out the little structure, so typically you could look at that as the market sweeping below liquidity and then looking for a reason to continue higher, which we had this nice gap coming to a mid-level, 50% of pretty much this candle, and then turn around and going bullish. Also following by bullish engulfing to continue higher. So as soon as you saw price go higher on the dollar, opposing that would be the Australian dollar looking to take sales, and that's what you see. And not only that, same with market sweeping lows. We had a Tuesday morning sweep of this high here. Like I say, even though the bullish structure was still a bit thin, but looking for a reason for sales, that was confirmed with the sweep of this, and also tapping into this 4-hour gap from January 15th. So price hadn't been primarily in this area filling the gap. That's why I never took it. So obviously we did touch it here. But that's still coming from a sell-off that we experienced in January. So like I said, we tapped it here, which actually broke a little high, but we didn't close into it and continue bullish. So I still keep this up as a level of rejection, if anything. Whether it be targets or level of rejection, I'm going to still keep it up until on the 4-hour time frame, we break through this and continue higher. Let's see. With that being said, let me look at the 4-hour and see if there are any levels that we can close out of. This area I kind of want to, but the market has somewhat been respecting. It did break through here, and it did break through here. But especially with this move here, if we get us a bullish push and maybe a continuation as we tap above this high on this range, which is 64.86, if we get to that level at least and start to sell off and break through and then continue with some closes below here, then I'll take this off. Right now, to me, the market is still respecting that range. Of course, here and multiple times here towards end of February into beginning of March. And then again, April 1st. And now again, we just broke through it. But price is still playing within that zone right now. And this is a range from November 17th, 2023. So still an old range that price is respecting. So until we fully break through, I'm going to leave that up. We have a lot of clean traffic for the bullish side to eat up. So this move seems more true, the bullish move, especially with this 4-hour engulfing. Could look to get into buys. Like I said, take it up to, if not 65 flat, as high as 65.20, maybe a little more. And if the market advances higher, then we have more clean traffic for it to fill, all the way up to 66.20. Let's look at the larger time frame and see how these past 2 weeks did on the weekly. So starting April 1st, this first week, we had a bullish push. We did close above the high of the previous week. Closed above this little structure. This open and close. Resistance right here. Then we had the same scenario right here with this open and close. This bearish push down towards the end of March did close above the bodies and the closes below these candles. We couldn't advance lower. We had an indecision following the end of March. Then April 1st, we closed above the open of that bearish candle that got us into this bullish scenario. And we closed above the high of this indecision candle. That wasn't enough for the bulls. It was enough for them to tease at the fact of these highs, but they couldn't close. So that alone triggered, along with CPI, I believe. Yes. Along with CPI, triggered the sell-off. Now that sell-off closed below all these wicks except the key one, which is the lowest one. So all these structure of wicks and these lows, that weekly candle actually closed below that. So one could say we still have targets of this extreme low from the week of February 12th. That's nothing but, let's see, from where we are right now, 64.73 to 64.45. Say about 30 pips, give or take. But it's not much speaking for the weekly. So I would think the market will want to push higher to maybe potentially drop down and test these lows if we're going to. And I would strongly believe that we possibly going to, with the fact that we're coming off a weekly bearish engulfing. Second week of April. But like I said, we need a pullback to get into sales. We need a reason to get into sales, and the market typically likes to entice buyers into the market before we can sell off. So with that being said, we need to see some volatility. Probably got to look at the news and see what types of setups we can get into for sales. We drop down to the daily. Let's see how close it aligns up with the weekly. um, Starting from April 1st, which is the beginning of the second quarter, we did get a bullish push rejecting these lows, which would previously happen in the past. So we had rejection from the lows February 6th, also February 14th, also March 6th, then again April 1st. As soon as it hit to that low, we had a bullish rejection. No engulfings from that point, so that was key, but still a bullish rejection pushed as high as the previous high, and actually that body closed above these open and close uh, resistance prices slightly. Didn't go above the wick, so again, it could be still potential more room for the market to still try to grab some liquidity above these highs or even break higher. But like I said, we would need some bullish confirmations on these time frames and lower, which would be the daily 4 hour and 1 hour. Right now, for us to have a nice color change, bullish engulfing, we would need this daily to sell off, and then Tuesday to create a bullish scenario. And I believe through a previous discussion, we was talking about, I don't know, I was talking about sitting in a trade and waiting for Tuesday. I don't know if Tuesday was a news event or I was just giving Monday a chance to play out. Whether it had been on a daily or a 4 hour, I'm not sure, but it might come back to me. But I know basically I spoke about kind of sitting on the sidelines Sunday and Monday um, and seeing how Monday closed. So basically Monday at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., seeing what that daily closed like. Looking at the scenario right now, I would like to see a bearish close on a daily. Then also we got a gap over here that we starting to continue to fill. It would be nice to get it all the way down here, 64 flat. See it close down, so we got 70 pip move potentially, 64 flat, selling off. And then from there, Tuesday, creating a bullish scenario, creating that bullish engulfing to get us into buys and potentially cleaning up more of that bearish clean traffic that was created by CPI. Again, going with sales from the weekly engulfing that we just experienced, we had a daily engulfing on Wednesday. Why? Because CPI sold out that Wednesday morning. The market eventually closed bearish for the most of the day. It didn't retrace any higher for that day, so we had a strong body bearish engulfing on the daily, which ultimately ended in a strong body bearish engulfing on the weekly. So look at the weekly right here. The only thing I don't like about this engulfing is the two candles that came before it. It was a weak indecision candle and then a bullish candle that it did close above the highs of that previous candle, but it was indecision. So it's like it wasn't like it's like a giant beating up on a kid, like so what? Okay, you close above it, so what? You didn't close above the structure high, which would have been more of a big dog move. So following this bearish engulf, it's like it looks good, and it also looks good that the CPI created this. So it's a strong scenario behind it, a strong story of why it closed like this. But I'm gonna need more because now it's going into a strong I guess I don't know. You potentially call this a sandwich. I don't know. You have to look at it. But the weeks of October 30th, November 6th, and November 13th, that little strong flip flop of a range on a weekly. Even though previously we kind of broke through this area with ease, but this is still a structurally build up of a low. And I'm speaking on the August to September to October low on the weekly. So if we're going to break through this, we're going to break through this with another big candle. So we should see strong signs for a major sell-off followed on a smaller time frame. The daily showed us Wednesday with CPI. We got that bearish engulfing. It would be nice to even on a weekly, if we get a small, maybe like a doji situation on a weekly and it's bullish, I could still see a continuation for bears, because that's just going to show that the bears had enough control in the market with news, with the help of CPI, to create that bearish engulfing on a weekly. And if it was followed by a weak bullish candle, that's just more signs that the bears had power. They controlled it. They didn't allow it. They probably didn't show their power because they didn't have nothing, no kind of news scenario to support it. But they were just waiting for another story, which probably be following in the following week to continue for sale. So that could be a scenario too. Drop down to the 4 hour. That same bearish engulfing, our color change, bearish engulfing, didn't show up until Thursday night leading into Friday, which worked out as a profitable trade. And right now, we're being set up with a bullish engulfing with the start of Sunday. So right now, it's based on, like I said, what I did to look through the first quarter of this year, solely looking at the 4 hour. I basically back tested our strategy on the 4 hour time frame starting from January 1st to from January 1st to March 31st. And it produced a total of 409 pips for that 3-month period. A gain of 169%. So with that being said, this recent bullish engulfing would be a reason to get into buys with stops below the low. I said stops, so if I pull up a long position, it'll look like this. You have an entry right here. You have a stop. Let's see. Right there, 6453, and then we go 2 to 1 to 2. So take profit. Take TP1 could be 6504, and then TP2 could be like 6520, maybe as high as 6530. So you got a potential from a 2 to 1 to a 3 to a 3.5 to 1 scenario for buys right now. So we'll leave that up. Bam. See if we got Scully on here. What's up, brother?
What's happening, man? Can you hear me pretty clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm on my phone tonight.
Oh, you good?
But yeah, man, how you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Nice.
Feeling good. Feeling great.
Yeah, I was listening to it on YouTube. I pretty much agree with everything that you said, recently said about the buy opportunities beginning of the week. I like
Right.
that a lot. Um, Yeah, I actually got into that on that 4 hour engulfing, so
Nice.
just trying to let that ride, see what it does before I get back into my bearish bias.
Yeah. We got a lot of nice little clean traffic for it to fill, at least to this first little leg, upwards of
Yeah, and we can you know potentially create even cleaner traffic to follow back down after it makes this move up. So that's what I
facts,
like.
facts.
So yeah,
That's a guarantee of what you know the market gonna provide is some clean traffic for it to fill.
and that's what you want in these games. The guarantees. Um, I think we people gamble too much on the maybes to where when those guarantees come, you're uncertain. Um, the guarantees you're gonna have to wait on those type of moves. But when they do arise, they are grand.
Right. You just gotta take advantage of 'em when you see them too, because they guaranteed for a reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, you
Like
gotta
the
pull the
like
trigger
the
when you see the target.
what goes up must come down type scenario. It might not be looking like that too much in the stock market right now, but for sure in the forex market, which everybody is running from, it's a guaranteed already written in the code. What goes up must come down.
Yeah, and they definitely prepare for that fall in the even in the stock market, like you said. They definitely preparing for that. A lot of guys seem like book of people are cash heavy as far as like the investors.
Oh yeah, big facts. And I think it's showing in certain stock price. That's why people talking about like you know, Apple and Tesla and earnings and different profit margins that they're missing. You know, it's just not looking too good. And that could be, the perfect scenario that people would need for it to create the bear market that the market is pretty much screaming for. But like I said, we don't have that too much to worry about trading Australian dollar. Can't say too much about the dollar, but I know Australia is pretty solid compared to other countries. So that's why we see a nice clean move instead of them crazy outlandish scenarios that you probably see in gold or something. Let's see. So this would be a good time to look at the news and see what we have to stimulate us into these potential moves. Let's see. Monday we have 7:30 in the morning. We got retail sales. New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. We got retail sales excluding autos month over month. China coming out with their unemployment rate, GDP growth rate. Let's see how they doing. Tuesday, building permits. Seeing what the permits is looking like, how many building permits is going in. Kind of shows us the scope of progression of new
And what
real
time?
estate.
What time is that?
7:30 on Tuesday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, see what that's looking like. Wednesday, we no news for USD. We got Australia news at 8:30. Their unemployment rate and employment change. So that's a good number to see. Which they're coming off of some weird consensus right here with this employment change. Previous 116K, and the consensus is negative 7K, 70K. So that's gonna be fun to see what the actual is of
Yeah, for real, that's crazy.
that. And it just stood out like a mug. Thursday, of course, we got our continuous jobless claims, initial jobless claims for the full week average. The consensus is looking like growth for continuing jobless claims, which is true, which I'm glad they following with that, because we do have a continuous jobless claims growing. Initial is growing. The consensus is, and also the full week average is growing. So that's actually gone along with what's happening in the job market. So that's true. Existing home sales is coming out at 9 a.m. on Thursday. We have a 9% rate coming from previous with a consensus of a -2. I'm not sure what that means. 100%. I don't know if they're expecting to see a -2% drop from this 9 or if it'll be -2%. Meaning we don't have a lot of existing home sales data. I guess that would make sense. People not buying. And Friday, no news. Just GBP, but I just got that up because it's an important currency. So we got some decent news kicking it off Monday with a lot of news to kick off the market. Nothing really strong until I would say Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. Might have an overnight sleeper with the unemployment rate for Australian dollar coming out at 8:30 on Wednesday. So we could see how that plays out.
Yeah, I like that. I really think this week can probably be a retest week. Honestly,
Retest to where?
To the upside.
Okay, just like
Just to kind of,
you think it could go all the way back up
it
to that
could,
high of 66.40?
no, because that
We don't
was
have
that was a lot of that was CPI.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, that was too strong. That was legitimate. That was a legit engulfing. I don't care if it was news. That's a weekly candle. So it's like
Facts.
that's what's happening.
Facts.
But I also think, um, with the way that it did close, that we have, um, what you like to call out at least the 50% of last week. I can see it reaching that for damn sure.
And that's actually the previous week. Let me change that because I got to update that. That's the week before last.
Okay.
But it's looking like it's not too far off though. So basically, if I go here, get Fibonacci out, go to the low, and then take this to the high. Way up here. Damn. That's crazy, right at 50%. Because this 50% line is going off of this candle, this bullish candle. I don't know if you're looking at the charts, but the week of April 1st.
Yeah, I can see it on yours. I can see it.
And the fact that this candle is so large is still 50%. It's the same range. So yeah, I ain't got to move it. That's crazy. Lines up.
So exactly.
So yeah. So you saying you could see it at least push up higher to that point?
I'm not gonna say at least, but yeah, I can see. You can probably get some bullish movement as soon as you get something from news. It might push up, and overall it's gonna go, we going down. So
Right.
I'm waiting for strong weekly volume to break that low that it created. Um,
This low down here.
yeah, and then yes, and then letting that just continue steam down.
Gotcha. And you would look for that sell scenario after we get this bullish push.
Yes,
Uh,
after, because right now it's you know you're selling at the low. Waits for it to go up and then create another. What is it? Lower high.
right.
You know, and yeah, can continue with that sell.
Nice.
Continue with that sell, man, because it's starting to line up on the weekly and the monthly and all that. Then you got some situations you can probably hang in, but you know
Nice. Nice.
the scalps turns into day trades turn into intradays, and intras and day trades turn into those swings. So
Yeah. Nice to see how this 1 hour is gonna close, especially after contesting with this bearish engulfing on the 1 hour. But looked like it did what it tried to do. It tried to entice people into sales right here with that long wick to
oh
pivot.
yeah, from
It did.
from what 8 o'clock did and how it closed and
Mm-hmm.
above yeah, it's like yeah, that one's done. That wasn't a bearish engulfing at all.
Mm-hmm. This the
Because
bear.
it's not going off anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going off anything. Like it wasn't a 4 hour. Actually, it was. It was a bullish 4 hour engulfing. So why would you even play with it? If you
Exactly.
did have a super duper type stop loss,
Exactly.
5 pips max, and then you would have got slapped out of there in the first 5 minutes.
Facts. And that would have been all the proof you need to know that you don't need to be in sales right now.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't need to be trading right now if you really want to go deep with it.
Nah, facts.
You know,
Facts.
because for most people wouldn't have been to take that hit early, because they want to start the week all right. So
Yeah.
they would have did that shit, try to make it back real quick, and got flipped and caught in this move right here, and just would have been holding, be like, no man, I'm supposed to be selling. It was CPI. Look
Nah,
at that weekly candle. Oh my gosh, like week candle have damn that no wick on the bottom. Like, oh
nah.
boy, we go retest first.
At least give Sunday some time to flex and build a
At
story.
least, like, yeah, it's not even a full day yet.
Yeah, let London come in this picture first. London ain't wake up yet. They still sleeping on the
Exactly.
weekend.
Exactly.
Shit, London is the granddaddy time frame, time zone. So let them come into play. But I'm gonna keep it real with just to go back off of what I said when I said London is the granddaddy time frame. I ain't gonna say no like mark my words type shit, but I'm kind of starting to see a different story play out where they may not be, they may not have that power structure that we may see in the charts. I think they might be transferring over to the Asian session on the cool.
I mean, do you
Well,
want to do a
well,
deep dive into that right now or later? Because that's
let's do it right now.
yeah, I need. Okay, yeah, I need to know what you're talking about.
Well, like I said, I see a lot of ebbs and flows in the smaller time frames, especially in the 1 hour and under. Um, and previously, through a lot of teachings and different maybe potential different podcasts that I watched or whatever, people always talk about that the London time zone sets the sets type of the mode for the daily move. The London to typically sweep the market and create uh, a reversal for New York to continue into, and then maybe Asian may hold, start to consolidate that move after it's already done, and then they'll continue with whatever London is going to do, or maybe just set up the play for London, and London and then do a manipulative move and then continue in whatever trend. But I'm starting to see the opposite, to where Asian is creating a bigger bulk move and London is kind of just gone along with it, if you will. They're not really creating no strong manipulation. They kind of going along with whatever Asia is setting as far as the range that the Asian session is creating. It's not really a short range. Now, what is consolidating instead of primarily the Asian range is that 12 to 1 p.m. all the way to like 6, 7 p.m. That's where you see most of the consolidation now, not so much, into the Asian range leading into London. Like that Asian session starting to show a lot of like volume, where I could see in the future, near future, that it's going to be very profitable for somebody to not primarily, but damn near primarily trade the Asian session. Like you could go to work 9 to 5, get off, and bam. If you got time to yourself, you can stay up late and make it profitable for you to stay up late.
So we're saying that what makes the Europe markets be the godfather or grandfather, whatever that you said, like right
Because I
now.
because I think they had so many European pairs within that conglomerate. Like when you got the NY session, you just got the USD. You feel me? And even though the USD is the dominant currency, which I think that also is going to change. That statement is going to change, if it ain't changed already, to more of the Asian, you know, currency side of things. Uh, the euro dollar kind of sets the tone because it has more power within that eurozone. Because you got the euro, you got the GBP, you got the Swiss franc, all that's like in the eurozone. So they kind of like the big dogs. When they come into, like when they wake up, it's like King Kong waking up, like yawning and stretching. Like when we wake up, we just a bull. When the Asian session wake up, they just a bear. But when the Londons wake up, they like King Kong. You feel me? So that type of
That totally makes sense.
that type of mind frame
That makes sense.
is shifting, and I think the Asian
Gotcha.
session is starting to be more of like Godzilla. You feel me? And they about to start really setting the tone in their own way because it's so massive. So you may not see the fast, jolty, high volume moves that you see during London, or that we were used to, because London has so much power within the multiple currencies. You gonna have Asian session, and they gonna have pretty much like, I think, one or two primary currencies, like the yen and the yuan. I think for the most part is their two main currencies. So you're gonna see a move, but it's gonna be more of a slower, understood, massive move versus the fast jolty. Let me get you out of there. Let me entice you to sales. Let me entice you to buys that the London would do, and then get up out of there and start to sell off, or get up out of there and start to buy up. That's what London known for. That fast mega shit. I think Asia is gonna be more of a, we are setting the tone and we gonna go from here to here. If you caught it, you caught it. Maybe you could catch some moves in London without they trying to fake niggas out, but overall, we set the tone. And I'm kind of starting to see that. And I would really like to, just put that verbiage out there before it actually becomes a thing, if it does come, because that'll be dope that I'm seeing it before it actually becomes the norm. Because I think we all know it is, just from the reserve world currency, maybe you could look at it like the BRICS. That whole BRIC shit is starting to give power, and maybe that's the time zone they go have their control in, as far as how we look at it in the U.S., the Asian time zone, which would be, that primarily 8 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah, I will, because I sort of agree, but just to play devil's advocate,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening in the nearest of futures.
Got you.
You know, like, yeah, I see there are rises and falls, and falls of empires and all that stuff. I get that,
Mm-hmm.
but my thing is, it's like if that would happen, that means that the Chinese stock market is more powerful than the U.S. stock market, in my opinion, because I think that's what still like moves the needle as far as like the American economy is the stock market.
Facts.
So like that's what I'm saying. I see it happening, but I don't know how near. Because you got companies like Apple, so one of the greatest companies ever. Like they,
And then to go even
it's
deeper,
like listen,
what moves the stock market is the Fed printing money. Because what happened to all that money they, added to the debt? That funneled straight into the stock market, basically.
right,
That's the reason why we have Nvidia where we have it at, and different companies where we have it at.
right. But yeah, bro, I now that I'm thinking about everything as a whole, you know, yeah, I can see it happening in the future.
Right, right, right.
I do agree. I just don't see it happening like
In front of your
near.
face right now.
Yeah, yes, like
Yeah.
shit is bubbling, you
Facts.
know, but shit
Facts.
is definitely bubbling.
Facts.
But
It's not the same market
yeah, you
before
got
2019. That's big facts.
come on, bro. Come on.
Completely
Like I
different. And
said,
we
stop
only talking
stop
about
using
4
stop
years ago.
using Apple.
Yeah.
Facts. Stop using Apple. We got our own phone.
Yeah.
That shit capped. You know what I'm saying? We got our own shit. We got TikTok. You know what I'm saying? We got that shit on lock so much where we could get buku data. We fucking with Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got the data. Now you got, tech. They always been on top of that, but um, it's just the materials and stuff. But yeah, man, they tapping in with Africa. That's the lick. Once they really get they business straight together, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Because that's
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 a
that's
that's a
all it
whole
is. That's the
that's a whole new
challenge.
level of
That's all.
consumerism.
Come on, bro.
African market.
Look at that.
Like
Look
them
look
niggas
at
ain't even have
Nigeria.
phones.
What
Like
what is facts? Like look at Nigeria. Like what are they on? You know what I'm saying? They damn near on the same fucking thing as Asia. Some of the Asian countries that they medical, tech, and it's the same thing in Nigeria.
uh-huh.
Africa is rich in all the resources and minerals and come on, man, that a nigga need. So what you need to use to, mine y'all cryptocurrency is just a whole nother level once they kind of get that squared away. It's all about relationships.
At the end of the day, 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 Yeah, that's gonna be crazy to see how they really develop though. The um, the African countries when they all start to work together.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they finally working on like to where,
But they got
which I
so many
didn't know. That's why
countries within that continent, like they're gonna be a powerhouse.
that's what I'm saying. Like, wait till they start having their own currencies that they own. You
Which
know
they
what I'm
did
saying?
in
Like,
Zimbabwe. They just dropped one. The new
that's a fact.
Zimbabwe dollar.
So it's like, yeah, now, it's getting to the point to where dudes can move around freely. Like, nigga, they can't go to another place in Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's just like us living in the United States and we need certain type of documentation to go to Texas or to go to Florida or to, you know what I'm saying? Every state you go to, you gotta go to some shit,
Yeah,
But they finally getting that passed, and worked out. Like I think they still need like a visa or something crazy, like a passport or some shit.
yeah.
But yeah, bruh, it was I don't know if I said Costa Rica, but it was Puerto Rico. That's the
No, you did say
that's
Puerto
the
Rico.
place where a lot of dudes. Okay, good, good.
Yeah, you said Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
All right, bet I'm about to look up some land up in there right now.
I'm just saying that's why they live in there. That's why they living in
Ain't Puerto
well
Rico
they
the
live
one
in there because it's
Americans?
like zero. I think so. Some type of shit. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But zero capital gains. So them niggas be making stupid money, be living out there. You
It's
know,
smart, dog. That's all I can say. That's smart. And travel to
you
America.
gotta be smart. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like my residency is in Puerto Rico, but I be
Yeah,
all over the fucking place.
yeah. Because even
You
if
know.
even from a trading aspect, if you actually had to have your trade operations in Puerto Rico, you could still control
Yes.
your computer. If your computer is stationed in Puerto Rico off of Puerto Rico internet, you could still control that computer from a phone while you're in New York. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
just like you controlling the business.
yeah.
You know.
Like if it really came down to that, like I don't know how they laws work and stuff, but it's smart as hell though. I understand it. I think only the bold and the people who really want to stack their bread up and trying to become super wealthy would do something like that because a lot more family oriented people, want to stay close to the family. It's probably difficult for somebody to get up and leave
That's the tough part.
Dallas or get up and leave New Orleans and just move to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard. Like it's not like an easy thing to do. Just
Facts.
because like you say, saving a lot of money on taxes,
Right,
you just
right,
go
right.
pick up and leave your family.
No,
Move to Puerto Rico. Like hell no.
yeah,
Now, if you if it's one person, just like you said, like somebody had to make the sacrifice and set up shop out there, so niggas can make money. You can still have people, holding the spot down, holding things down in the states.
yeah,
But yeah, that shit ain't easy. That's why for people in the States, they move to Miami. Miami is real good on taxes.
yep,
That's why a lot of them balling niggas, they be moving to Miami.
yep. Shit, Jeff Bezos
But
just
the only thing
bought,
called Miami is the lifestyle. It's just like,
just bought a crib
you
to knock it
disciplined
down
enough.
so he could
Yeah,
build one of the most expensive homes out there. So I totally understand. I think they got no state income tax or something like that. Something like
yeah.
that.
So it's something like it's better than Texas because that's another one. Like Texas, not bad,
Yeah,
but you still gotta fuck with the IRS.
facts. Damn, boy, gold. Gold is like a bodybuilder at the gym flexing in the mirror right now. Like That bitch said
That's
new
what they said. They
all-time
said it's
high.
been a
New
battle.
all-time high.
This
New
year has been a
all-time.
battle. It's been a battle between gold and Bitcoin this year. Like that's what
Bro,
people been
like
talking
for
about.
real. Like dead ass, dog. I'm
Yeah.
looking like
Like you look at
yesterday,
the chart,
fam.
you look at the yeah.
Like Friday, gold had a new all-time high and couldn't close below, rejection wick lows. Like it still had a bearish close day, but it wicked up all the way down to the 2440. Oh, that bitch is running, boy. Bitcoin starting to give some indecision, starting to consolidate.
Boy, Bitcoin dropped, everything dropped hard. Bitcoin be controlling the fucking altcoins,
Shit,
boy.
I heard. You heard about what happened about some? I don't know how true that though, but it's some kind of drone strike happened in Israel, like today or yesterday, that created a sell-off in Bitcoin. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I did not hear about that.
Yeah,
But
it's
that war is gonna keep on going on. The the which is, like horrible, don't get me wrong, but
right.
the wars, because it's multiple. It ain't just one. Like think about the tech data war that's going on. Think about the wars that's going on in hip hop. Think, you know what I'm saying? Like think about just,
Oh my
you
god.
know what I'm saying? People just get so caught up in the shit, and that's when it's just like, oh, okay, niggas losing their minds. Something about to go down. Am I gonna get caught up with all the fucking all the craziness?
Right,
Or am I gonna capitalize on this great
right.
move?
Uh-huh. Nah, that's crazy. XRP on sale like a mother too, boy. Some
Yeah,
dropped
I'm
under
about to
50
throw in the towel
cents.
on XRP.
Huh?
I'm probably not gonna buy not one. Yeah, I'm not probably gonna put one penny into XRP.
You say you about to throw a towel in on it?
Not throw the towel in, but
Oh,
I'm
as far
not
as
gonna invest
investing more.
not
Okay.
one more dollar into it. It hasn't been performing enough.
Yeah, I think it's a reason, though. Yeah, but like I said, we this is too new. This is we basically in the stock market in 1890. If you want to match up the years, 1924. This is the 1924 stock market. So go look at that stock market and go see like if you thought that GE was gonna be the company it's gonna be. You feel me? Like we there early. I think nobody really knows the potential of
That's a fire breakdown.
what they got
Yeah,
under the
I feel
sleeve.
you.
You
This is
know?
really new. Yeah, I feel
Yeah, super new. Nobody knows. But the difference about today versus 1924 is that everything that the big investors doing, the hedge funds, the billionaires, is all public knowledge. So we see when they move their money. We see when they buy more Bitcoin or when they buying that ETF and how much growth is going into the ETF and how much money being locked up into these coins like Solana and Cardano, like money they got sitting, like kind of like how Apple's sitting. Even though Apple is doing bad and missing revenue numbers and all this and not making sales as much as they used to, but they still got a bag. So if anything was to happen, if anything shifted in the market, they could still do good and probably outperform everybody because they got a nice bag they're sitting on.
that is a fact, bro. They have cash. Like them boys
Cash,
got a bag.
that,
Yeah, like you said, they have a bag.
yeah. And then the news trying to make it seem like it's worse than what it is, but like I said, they still not talking about how much cash they sitting on, which is nice and hefty. Which I don't know the number, but it's enough to turn a company around. Their size, put it like that. Starting to see a little See a little sell off on the S&P.
Yeah, my bad, my bad.
Oh, you good, you good. A little sell off. Nothing too crazy just yet. But like I said, who knows? Still too soon to call it, but regardless, we're gonna monitor this Australian dollar pair to the T like we've been doing. Buys are in. Where's your target for this buy that you're in ultimately? Anything above 65 cents?
65.08 to the T.
65.08 to the T. Nice. Catching them lows. Nice retest to the low. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a bit, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be another good week.
Facts.
You're taking week by week, man. Focus daily, on the weekly goals and and go through it.
Yeah.
Like, people be like, oh yeah, you do this, man, set your stop loss, bro, and you'll be all right. Like I can't tell you if you're gonna be all right if I'm finna throw you in the forest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts. Yeah. I do know one thing going forward, especially for the second quarter. I'm gonna forward test that 4 hour scenario that I broke down for the first quarter. So that buy you in is actually the second trade for the quarter.
Bro, that's the best way is to I ain't gonna say the best way, but yeah, forward testing.
You
Get
gonna
in
get
there,
the
see what it
most,
feel like.
some of the most accurate data. Actually, I'm taking back
Yeah.
that's not the first trade. Actually, you had probably wouldn't have taken that one. You had one loser, like probably like 722, probably like 15 pips. 15 pip loser. If you would have taken that one, it was a nice entry. Just for just for the structure of the current market. But like I said, nonetheless, the second entry was sales from, I believe, from CPI. No, following CPI. It was that Thursday night sales, what got you into about 30, 40 pips. And plus, if you would have held, and now we're into a buy right now, coming off of Sunday at a 4 hour engulfing and looking to take that to 65 cents plus. Currently, you got you at 65.08. And we could go probably as high as 65.20 and 65.30 if the market wants to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it to start it off, and then you got.
Easy money.
Yeah, you're starting to get towards 64 with that 64.50 towards those weekly lows. You get strong sales and breaks that, then start looking for your sales, and that could probably be a good swing.
Right. Nah, for real, man. I guess as we always do, gonna wrap it up and monitor these buys, and ultimately looking for the next signs of rejection so we could get into this CPI triggered sell move that we might be prepping up for the rest of the quarter. Oh, I ain't gonna say the rest of the quarter, but potentially the rest of the month. Since we do have a weekly engulfing, a bearish.
Facts. Facts. And, you know, it's not too far-fetched to say for the end of the quarter. If you're looking at the weekly and the monthly charts, that ain't a bad thing to say. But yeah, I do agree. Yeah, a week for damn sure.
And one thing I did point out at the beginning, this weekly engulfing is a weekly engulfing, true, but it's not as sweet as the one we came from to start out the year. And if you could look at the weekly, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like the one that started out the year, January 1st, was coming off a previous high, and it was coming off a bullish push higher. So it had like more of a story to tell as far as targets to reach to the clean traffic, fill clean traffic to the left. The one we just experienced came off an indecision candle and then a nice little bullish push. Like that's the two bullish candles it came off of to create this bearish engulfing. So it is a bearish engulfing, and it is going in continuation with the engulfing that started the year, but it's not the best one, like the most ideal one. But we go see how it plays out though. Because one thing it did do was close below all these wicks, except this one. It didn't even reach this lowest wick. And I kind of talked about this as soon as the live started, but I just wanted to reiterate that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Like that. This is not a super heavy one.
But
the way that it did close,
CPI did
to the left, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
CPI
And for that reason, what you stated, that's why these buys I'm not mad at on the 4-hour engulfing.
Yeah, because CPI did a lot at the last minute. Awesome
Yep.
shit.
This market will give you so many times to enter, exit, add on, take some off, like, if you're willing to ride the wave, but
Right.
yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We'll monitor this in the Telegram and see how it plays out going into tomorrow morning. And we got a lot of news tomorrow morning, so yeah, we'll see how that plays out. The retail sales.
Yes.
So that's a bit, brother. I'm gonna tap
All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Peace
Be
out.
good, brother. Peace.